Welcome to Keep This in Mind, brought to you by Specht.com, and I am that guy. So when I was in school, many years ago, we would have to bring in a clipping out of the newspaper every week for a thing called current events. So if you're anywhere near my age, or maybe a little younger or older, you probably remember doing current events. And part of the reason we did current events as students was so that we would become aware of what was going on in the world around us. This morning, I read some in-depth articles about the impending government shutdown. I've read countless articles about questions surrounding the election season to come and all the other things. And my conclusion is everything's pretty much screwed up. Now, this isn't political. This is a live, if you will, about how do we react to outside forces that we cannot control. How do we react? The first question I need to ask you is this: do you recognize that you are a leader? John Maxwell says leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. And if we have influence over another human being, then by that definition, we are a leader. So as a leader, how do you react to current events? How do you react when people panic? How do you react when crises take place? Can I tell you that those who are watching you are waiting to see how you react to let them know if things are going to be okay or not? I remember many times a crisis would happen and we would look to leadership. When I was in the 10th grade in Largo, Florida, the Space Shuttle Challenger blew up upon its launch. The whole day was affected by it. In fact, at first, we thought it was a rumor. Remember, we didn't have the internet then. We didn't have TVs in the classrooms. We didn't have cell phones with text messaging. There was just this rumor going around that something tragic had happened. By the time we got home that afternoon, we found out it was true. And I don't know about you, but I felt this knot in the pit of my stomach. Later on that evening, President Ronald Reagan came on the television and gave an address, probably one of the most famous of his presidential career. And his calm in that storm, recognizing what had happened, but not being controlled by it. I'm going to move my microphone a little closer. Recognizing what happened, but not being panicky about it, brought a sense of calm to the entire nation. I've seen this happen over and over again in major life and world events. And I realize that the way leadership reacts will often set the tone for how the masses react. Remember, leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. As leaders, we need to be the calm in the storm. We need to be the person that projects the ability to get beyond the circumstances. Now, this doesn't mean we play Pollyanna or we refuse to admit that there's problems. What I'm saying is that despite the problems, despite the outside forces that are extremely negative, we can be the calm in the storm. Well, how is that, David? Well, there's a phrase, I've used it multiple times. It's not my phrase, although as many times as I've used it, I guess I could claim it. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. If the government shuts down at the end of next week, we will navigate it. If the elections go nuts, we will navigate it. Why? Because this too shall pass. Time stops for no one. And worrying about what may or may not happen before it actually does or does not happen does no one any good. In fact, it can paralyze you from taking actions you need to take. I've been seeing this most recently with my friends in government relations, as the potential government shutdown has caused so many to just freeze, not taking any action, not moving forward, not working their agenda. And the thing is, should the government shutdown happen or should it not happen next week, there's still going to be things to do. There's still going to be goals to meet. There's still going to be policies that need to be addressed. You see, the outside force that you cannot control and that I cannot control should not paralyze us. And when those that are watching us see that we are not paralyzed, they are given the permission to move forward in their lives and continue on down their paths towards their goals, towards their dreams, towards whatever it is that they're trying to get done. Now, I know this is quite a somber live today, or somber podcast today if you're listening to it on the podcast. But the truth of the matter is, I need to hear this, you need to hear this, and those that follow us need to hear this. Because it doesn't matter if you're a CEO or the janitor. It doesn't matter if you're in mid-level leadership, if you're not in leadership at all in your organization, or if you're a parent or a friend or whatever. Somebody is watching to see how you react. In the Bible, Jesus said, "In this world there will be trouble, but be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world." Knowing that should give you confidence when an outside force or a crisis takes place. Knowing that Jesus has overcome the world and that he has overcome every situation that has ever been faced, that will ever be faced, should give you great, great confidence that you can face whatever's coming down the pike. So my friends, today I just want to share with you that you do not need to feel paralyzed. You do not need to feel like the world is crumbling around you. You do not need to feel like the circumstances, whether they're close to you or far away, are going to keep you from moving forward in your life towards your dreams and your goals. We have the secret sauce. And that secret sauce is he has overcome the world. Lean on that. Stand on that. React knowing that. And people who you lead will be calmer. They'll be moving forward. And we will all get over whatever life throws at us. God bless.